there are inbuilt perceptions within us that aren't just going to change overnight, or like that's even, you need to be very proactive in that and consistently tell yourself, no, that's not it. But no one really wants to do that. No one wants to do that. It's a lot of work that's required to do that.
And this says something different. Like, I'm just taking it all as a joke, because it's like, I'm being told one thing, and then Jesus has hair, so why can't I grow my hair? Like,
it's just
when I say it to my mum's, I'm like, Mum, but Jesus had hair. There's no comeback. There's nothing to say. It's just like, and I'm just like, my mum knows deep down that I'm not capping, I'm not lying with what I'm saying. Like, she knows what I'm saying makes sense, but it's just, this is the way it is, so we just have to accept that this is the way it is. Literally,
it's rooted in fear.
Yeah.
It's literally rooted in fear. If we were to go by their logic, we should be following everything that Jesus does, no? So that means we should be growing our hair, we should be looking like him and abiding by the kind of laws that he set and stuff. But yeah, you're right, they don't. Yeah, it's just very much picking and choosing what they want. But then again, yeah, I think it's just a coping mechanism at the end of the day because of what they've had to go through.
Yeah.
But when Sikhs do it, it's due to like what devotion is it for their God or? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure, but I've always known that with Sikhs, they grow the men grow their hair and like they tie it up. I went to school with loads of Sikhs, and yeah, like hair growth was a part of them. You know? So I find that interesting. Even like with the Jewish community, you know, like growing their hair, growing the sides on their head as well. That's like a part of, you know, just something that they do. But when it comes to Christianity, even like I went to a Pentecostal church growing up.
Yeah,
like, what about you? Went to the same. Yeah, like the hair growth is seen as something that's like not of God for some reason.
I think it's rooted in a race issue as well. Like I think we were even discussing before about how like black people, there's definitely some sort of identity crisis there. Like every other race seems to be very rooted in what they believe in, the way they maneuver in life. And I feel like with black people a lot of the time, we've been stripped of a lot of the kind of qualities, and our culture's mocked for it a lot of the time as well. So I feel like it's really changed the dynamic of what it is. But when it comes to long hair, I don't know why ours is criminalized yet. Sikhs, Jews, I'm not sure why that is. Not sure why that is at all.
I don't know what it is about the cutting of hair that's used to like kind of control you. The reason why I say control is because for some reason it's like it's a requirement. It has to be done for order to flow, for whoever set that order. So for example, like when you join the military, you know, you got to shave your hair, you got to there's this one look that you must follow, and it's like kind of molding like the collective mindset into this belief that this is the way things are done and it has to be done this way for things to work. Even when I went to the school that I went to a Roman Catholic school. To this day, like my dad even says things to me like, I have no idea why I sent you to a Roman Catholic school, but at the time they thought that was the right thing to do. So I went to a Roman Catholic school and called St. Bonaventure's, and the school literally had rules in place where, you know, your hair can't exceed a level 1. Like I started secondary school and I'm being told that your hair can't exceed a level 1. You're not allowed to have patterns on your hair. So, you know, growing up, you know, we used to love getting the corny night tick at the back of our
the
head.
lines and stuff,
that
crazy.
Wasn't allowed. Even like getting slits in your eyebrows. I mean, I know it's got a negative stigma attached to it, isn't that you're a criminal if you have it, but I wasn't allowed to be expressive in school.
Yeah. And the thing is, that's even just a microcosm for society, because I'm pretty sure in most states, it's illegal for you to turn down or have your job rescinded because of Locs. Literally, like it says in the Constitution of law or whatever, it literally says you cannot, you're allowed to do that. I think New York was like the first state to say hair discrimination is illegal. And that was in 2019 or 2016, one of the two.
That was yesterday.
Bro, it's
literally
crazy.
Yesterday. You're not allowed to discriminate someone's hair.
Yeah, I mean, they made that illegal, as if it should even be yeah.
So it's still legal in some places?
Yeah, most states.
I wonder what it's like in the UK. I would love to know. Can someone quickly just check to see if there's any like... Yeah. I hear from a lot of black women that in the workplace, you know, braids are treated a certain way, and you know, a lot of the times, a lot of black women feel like they have to have their hair tied back and straight to look presentable.
Yeah.
They kind of fear, you know, walking in. Not saying all black women, but like I've heard from some black women that, you know, walking into the work environment. They're kind of worried about how people would react to like their false locks or their locks or their braids. No,
it's true. A lot of the time, black hairstyles, even for women, is an issue. And it shouldn't be, because according to convention, women have long hair, men have short hair. That's what the standards have been set. So I don't know why that is the case. Even with, in another industry, I'm pretty sure it was, Zendaya was on like the red carpet, and I think she had like braids in, or locks, but they looked like locks. Maybe they were faux locks or something. And then one of the presenters said that, do you remember that?
Oh, you look like you smell patchy and weed or something.
Yeah, she looks like you smell of marijuana. And I was thinking,
what?
Like, what? And it wasn't long ago, maybe 5 years ago.
So, because she had locks in, the presenter said,
her hair looks like it smells of marijuana. That's what, and everyone laughed it off.
A long way to go.
Everyone laughed it off. And that's in the acting. So it's not even a corporate industry or a corporate environment.
That's the creative environment.
And Zendaya is big. Zendaya is one of the biggest actresses out there for her age.
Wow.
That race-based hair discrimination has been illegal, so it's actually illegal to discriminate against those.
When was that, mate?
That was in 2010.
Okay.
12 years ago.
Still pretty recent.
That was the other day.
Yeah, that's still pretty recent.
Literally, that's like when I started university, basically.
That's the thing, like.
Wow. So literally in the UK, 2010 was when they put a law in place to literally make it illegal to discriminate against people's hair. 2010. And that was literally the other day. Like,
it's so recent. It's because it shouldn't really be a thing. But even then, I don't think that they will have much of an impact. That sort of law will have much of an impact, because it's not just hair. It's how you look as a whole. Hair is just one little thing that they can. That's an easy loophole to get out of.
Yeah.
It's an easy law to get out of, I believe. But I mean, at least it says it in paper, right? But
True.
I don't know.
But even the time that it takes for it to like rub onto the perception of society on like locks, I'm sure it takes generations. Like what, 2010? That was like like 12 years ago.
12 years ago.
So 12 years later, we still have the ongoing issue of, like, I saw someone respond to one of your TikTok videos saying something along the lines of, you know, I won't be able to get a good job if I have locks.
Yeah.
You know, so there are still people in younger generations that still believe the idea that, you know, by having locks or having my hair, like, it's gonna stop me from progress in my career.
And that's the thing, like, you're right. And the thing is, they're right as well. So statistically, obviously, if you want to use probability, you've got more of a chance of being more successful rising up the corporate ladder if you were to cut your hair, because they would perceive you that way by law, essentially. But a lot of the time, they will still view you in that way anyway. Even as you said, you had waves.
Yeah.
And you had a beard, and they still said you could have looked more presentable.
Because of my beard.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't think...
And my hair was very low back then. So
yeah. Well, lower now.
Yeah.
Damn.
So it was still a problem. And you know what? It reminds me of that video on TikTok that you made a response to.
Yeah.
Just quickly run through like what the guy had said and what you had responded back.
Yeah. So the guy, I think he had like your kind of trim, and I don't think he even had a beard. He just had your kind of trim, and then one of his colleagues made a race joke think they were talking about like him having a knife. And I think at the time, crime was very prevalent in terms of the knife crime. There were a lot of stabbings at that time.
Yeah.
And in the area as well. And he was thinking, damn, so I've got a suit on, I've got this kind of watch. I think he had a type of watch. He had jewelry. He was looking very like proper. And even then, they still had something to say. So that's when you're just like, you know what, fuck that. I'm just gonna grow my hair. And that's the thing. I feel like a lot of the time our hair is kind of us expressing that, like, it's enough is enough. Let me express it through this because I'm tired of. It's almost a byproduct of our struggle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I love the fact that it's a response to just saying, I'm at a point where I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Because the guy was saying that literally, he presented himself well in the workplace, only to still have a little joke thrown at him from one of his white colleagues saying, you have a knife. So in response, he's like, wow, so I presented myself so well in the workplace and still like I'm being like discriminated.
Yeah, that's why I think that.
So I don't care anymore. I'm just gonna be myself. There's no point.
Yeah, I think that's the reason why like the whole respectability politics is just, it's kind of ineffective because you can do all of that, but there are inbuilt perceptions within us that aren't just going to change overnight, or like that's even, you need to be very proactive in that and consistently tell yourself, no, that's not it. But no one really wants to do that.
True.
No one wants to do that. It's a lot of work that's required to do that.
Do you know what? I also feel that like whatever you believe will be your reality. So if you truly believe that I have to, you know, cut my hair, I've got to like, you know, present myself the way I'm told to present myself, it will work for me in my career, then you will notice that and see that. And then the other side to that is someone who, like yourself, who doesn't care. I'm like, I'm going to be myself, and I don't believe that this is going to hinder me from getting into certain rooms.
Yeah.
That will also be your reality, because as you're living now, you know, you have a great job, you know, you're doing your thing in your industry. Like, your hair hasn't stopped you from getting anywhere.
Yeah, I think what you're saying is correct. It's literally how you view it. It's the mindset, because if a job's turning you down because of your hair, a lot of the time you're thinking, damn, it's my hair. But if you have the mindset of, no, actually, it just means that I don't want to be at a company that wouldn't accept me for me. Yeah. So let me find, that's good that you've rejected me. Let me find the place where I'm able to work in an environment where they will accept me for who I am. Do you know?
And this is the thing, like, with the amount of like firms, companies, places you can work, although there may be a company that would judge you for your hair, there's definitely a company out there that will love everything about you and just love the value that you bring.
Yeah.
I've got some friends that work in tech, and a lot of the times when they're, I'll give you an example of like one of my friends who works for a social media company. When he was going through the interview process, one thing that he said to me that he highlighted was that he was told by someone that worked there that, you know, when getting ready for the interview, it doesn't matter. They don't really care about, you know, like your skills and what you can do. It's the kind of person you are from within. So when I heard that, I was like, I've never heard anything like that. Like, like they really don't care about like where you've come from, or they just want to know that you're a kind person. That's the kind of person they're looking for. They're just looking for someone who's kind.
Was it a new company? Relatively new?
Yeah, as in they've only been around for the past 10 years.
Yeah. So I guess, yeah.
Very big social media platform as well.
Oh,
yeah. But it was about the kindness, about who you are from within.
Yeah, that's news to me.
Yeah.
If most companies were like that, that would definitely change scope entirely. But
so I guess essentially the workplace the culture in the workplace is changing.
Yeah.
For the better.
That's the thing, I don't know, because in the industry that social media is a pretty agile space compared to places like finance, which most companies are more or less established and their rules are very rigid.
Yeah. Oh, okay, what about like, the medical industry? Like, have you seen a doctor with big locks? I would love to know if there are any doctors out there with locks that have had no problem.
Not in the medical industry, no.
I've not seen any.
I do know doctors in like psychology,
Right.
so or psychiatric wards and stuff. I know of only one, to be fair, but he has a lot of locks, but I mean it's tied back in a corporate manner, and he has glasses and he does what he can, but he's a doctor in that sense.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure he's top of his position. So I don't know. There's progress there, I guess.
We're getting there. There is progress.